A story grabbed my eye a few days ago, and I set Bella off to try and find some people to talk to about it. We found most people very reluctant to discuss this story because I read it and I shared it around the office with other people, and people said, that is freaking crazy. And what it is, that is a government-backed company called Agrazero, a government-backed joint venture company with nearly $200 million to invest. And it aims to reduce farm methane emissions by 30% by 2030 and push towards near zero by 2040. Remember, that is when climate change is largely now being exposed, man-made climate change, as a complete crock of shite. And many people are now saying that all this Paris Accord stuff is rubbish. But here's one of the crazy freaking ideas this company is coming up with, and that is that all farmers could vaccinate their cows to reduce their methane and nitrous oxide emissions. So we have perfectly good cows in New Zealand eating perfectly good grass, and farmers, and eventually, of course, they'd make it a rule, wouldn't they, have to shoot some sort of engineered chemical into them to solve a problem that doesn't really exist, and that making the cows produce less methane wouldn't fix in any case. It is really the sharp end of the complete logical fallacy that is man-made climate change. And I can't figure out why more New Zealanders aren't screaming that Agrazero and this nutty research is like the emperor with no clothes. But one group not afraid to get into this stuff never has been, is Groundswell New Zealand, and he's back to talk to us, Bryce McKenzie. Bryce, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Sean.
I'm sorry, just at any level, this is freaking crazy, isn't it?
Well, I listened to you opening up there, Sean, and thought, well, I really can't add much to that. You've summed it up in a nutshell. This is the craziest thing you've ever heard of, isn't it?
Well, obviously they've hired a PR company. This story was doing the rounds. Is it the craziest thing that we're being asked to do, or is it just an example of where this madness has got to?
Yeah, it is. It's both. Look, I don't know where you actually start on it, because what we're talking is, have we got climate change, or is they talking global warming? Because what they're trying to do is cut methane out or reduce it, and they claim that Bovera will do that by 30% in an animal. So a cow produces about 100 kilograms of methane per year, so you can drop that, say, by 30%. And the way they're trying to pitch it is that because you've had a saving of 30% or 30 kilograms of methane, you can actually sell that on the open market.
Oh, God.
Because the plot thickens, doesn't it? So this is how they're going to try and incentivize farmers to inject their cows with, and I'll tell you what's in it. There's propylene glycol, silicon dioxide, and nitrooxypropanol. Now that's what it is. Now the nitrooxypropanol, they tell us that is very corrosive to the eye, irritant, and potentially harmful if inhaled. And this is what they're asking us to actually inject our cows with, or in the case of beef cattle, it'll be boluses.
So you do this and you get a carbon credit or something that you could trade, or this is so complex. So I don't know, we're paying for some guy in a suit to be a middleman on some created market for trading. The whole system is insane, Bryce.
Yeah,
why don't we grow our agricultural products and our livestock in the healthiest, most natural, non-interventionist way we can, keep productivity up, have grass that grows well, and not mess it up? I mean, that's fundamentally this country's bloody competitive advantage, isn't it?
Yes, you've hit the nail on the head. without a doubt, that's where our marketing should have been going for years, is exactly what you've said. We produce the cleanest, most efficient food in the world. Why don't we just hang our hat on that and leave the rest to people who want to do what they think they should for what reason?
Yeah.
Because, a lot.
But here's the quote from the story, Bryce. New Zealand farm customers overseas, such as Nestle, McDonald's and Tesco's, are pushing deep into their supply chains to get emissions reductions, Agrazero says in its 2024 annual report. This includes the family dairy farm on the Canterbury Plains. The messaging from our consumers and our customers around the world is clear. We've got to deliver a range of sustainable outcomes, said Silver Ferns Farm's chief executive, Dan Bolton. So they're saying if you don't do all this crazy you know what the word I was going to use, then no one will buy our stuff.
We're already world leaders, Sean. Where are they going to get their food from where the emissions are so low if they don't get it off us? Everybody tends to forget that we've already got that niche in the market. So look, it's so frustrating, Sean, because as you said, the emperor's got no clothes, and it doesn't seem to matter how hard you yell that out. People don't wake up to see it. And, we're talking about a short-lived gas. So it only lasts for 10 to 12 years. And in the last 10 years, we've lost 62 million sheep, 861,000 less dairy cows, and 250,000 less deer. So if you put a mark in the sand 10 years ago and a mark in the sand now, New Zealand has reduced its emissions enormously.
I also thought, Bryce, that agriculture was meant to be exempt from the Paris Accord.